It's time for Formula One.
In the high-speed theater of Formula One, where egos clash and reputations are built on milliseconds, genuine respect between competitors is rare. Even rarer is when that respect bridges generations, connecting two drivers separated by nearly 2 decades, yet united by something deeper than mere talent. When Fernando Alonso looks at Max Verstappen, he doesn't just see one of Formula One's greatest drivers, he sees a reflection of himself. And in that reflection lies a story about what it truly means to be a racer in the purest sense of the word. The parallel paths. The similarities begin at the very start. Picture this, a teenager, barely old enough to drive on public roads, stepping into the fastest racing cars on Earth, not with caution, but with confidence bordering on audacity. Fernando Alonso was 19 years old when he made his Formula One debut with Minardi in 2001. Then came Max Verstappen, not at 19, not even at 18. At 17 years old, the Dutchman arrived in Formula One with Toro Rosso in 2015, making him the youngest driver ever to compete in the championship. Both would answer questions about their readiness emphatically. Both started with Red Bull's junior teams and earned swift promotions to teams on the cusp of greatness. For Alonso, it was Renault. For Verstappen, Red Bull Racing. Both drivers had remarkably short junior careers before F1. Their talent was so obvious, so undeniable that they fast-tracked to the top. And once they arrived, they didn't just participate. They dominated. The fighter's spirit. But career trajectories only tell part of the story. What truly connects Alonso and Verstappen is something you can't find in statistics or lap times. It's visible in every wheel-to-wheel battle, every defiant overtake, every refusal to settle for second best. It's the fighter's spirit. Alonso built his reputation on an aggressive driving style that walked the razor's edge between brilliance and controversy. He didn't ask for space on track. He took it. There's a saying about Alonso that's become almost cliché in F1 circles. He can drive the cars around him. It means he has such awareness, such tactical brilliance, that he's essentially racing everyone simultaneously, not just focusing on his own lap time. Watch Max Verstappen race, and you'll see the same quality. When he qualifies poorly and finds himself mid-pack, he doesn't just drive faster. He reads the race, identifies the strategic weak points of those ahead, and exploits them with surgical precision. This isn't just skill, it's racing intelligence at the highest level. It's the ability to see the chess match unfolding at 200 miles per hour and make the right move before your opponent even knows they're in check.
Max Verstappen is a 4-time Formula One world champion.
The outsiders. Speaking in Las Vegas, Alonso identified another crucial similarity between himself and Verstappen. Something that goes beyond driving, beyond talent, into the realm of identity and authenticity. They're outsiders. I think we're coming from countries that they are not really into F1 so much, Alonso explained. Especially Spain, I would say. Both drivers came from backgrounds outside F1's traditional power bases. Not Britain, not Italy, not the established motorsport nations where Formula One was bred into the culture. When you come here and you have some success at the beginning of your career, Alonso continued, and maybe you are not the good guy, if I can say that, and maybe you are not politically correct, you are not in the system. Listen to those words carefully. You are not the good guy, not politically correct, not in the system. These aren't complaints. They're observations from someone who lived through it and recognizes the same pattern in Verstappen's journey. Authenticity above all. Formula One demands conformity. Saying the right things, thanking sponsors, maintaining diplomatic neutrality. Both Alonso and Verstappen have consistently refused. You are more yourself than what you should be, Alonso said of Verstappen, recognizing their shared strong personality. Verstappen is famously direct, sometimes brutally so. He doesn't soften opinions for public consumption. Frustrated with his team, he says it on team radio for the world to hear. Disagrees with a penalty? He speaks his mind. Alonso operates similarly, though perhaps more calculating in his controversy. Like Verstappen, he's never pretended to be someone he's not. This authenticity costs them. Both face intense criticism, not just for driving, but for personalities that refuse to fit the mold. But it creates something powerful. Respect from those who understand what remaining yourself requires in an environment constantly demanding conformity. Mutual admiration. What makes the Alonso-Verstappen relationship special is the mutual respect flowing across generations. Alonso tracked Verstappen's career from karting onwards. We all knew that it was this kid coming. I had always a lot of respect. Verstappen's admiration runs even deeper. Before I was in Formula One, when Fernando was fighting against Red Bull, I was cheering for him, he revealed. Before becoming a Red Bull driver himself, Max cheered against Red Bull, drawn to Alonso's underdog spirit. Being that underdog and still getting these results, dragging the car to wins when he shouldn't, it attracts you as a driver, Verstappen explained. You like what you see is a proper fighter, and he still is. The ultimate racer's compliment. The lesson. What truly connects these champions? The refusal to be anything other than themselves. In a sport obsessed with image, both drivers have insisted on authenticity. In a paddock where political correctness often trumps honesty, both have spoken their minds. Where settling for available points might be smart, both have pushed for more. Verstappen summarized it perfectly. What I like is that Fernando's mentality and personality is just himself. You see what you get. In an environment where so much is managed and calculated, that's rare. The respect between Alonso and Verstappen isn't based on results or statistics. It's based on recognition. One fighter recognizing another. One authentic voice acknowledging another. The passion continues. Today, Fernando Alonso races in his 40s with Aston Martin, still fighting and refusing to fade away. Max Verstappen, in his prime, collects championships while respecting not just Alonso's past, but his present. I have a lot of respect for what Fernando is still doing at his age, Verstappen said. It's very nice to see have that much passion for the sport. There it is again, passion. The thing that drives you to continue racing long after you've proven everything. When Alonso looks at Verstappen, he sees someone who races with soul. When Verstappen looks at Alonso, he sees the fighter he aspired to be, the underdog who refused to stay down. They're separated by age and generation, but connected by something deeper, genuine, hard-earned respect. Two fighters, two authentic voices, two drivers who refuse to be anything other than themselves. That's the bond between Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen, transcending championships, rivalry, and time.